On November 8, 1939, Adolf Hitler was giving his 16th annual speech on the anniversary of his 1923 coup attempt. "12 minutes after he and other important Nazi leaders had departed, a bomb went off. The Gestapo captured and eventually executed George Elser, who was the man behind the assassination attempt. Now suppose his speech had taken 10 minutes longer, and he is killed. Along with Heinrich Himmler, Hermann Göring, Joseph Goebbels, Reinhard Heydrich, Joseph Mengele, Adolf Eichmann, Odilo Globachnik, Oskar Dirlewanger, Friedrich Jeckeln, Joseph Kramer, Paul Blobel, Franz Stang, and Iskach. Ernst Kaltenbrunner only lived long enough to give orders that everyone that attended the speech and anyone who knew anyone who attended the speech was to be investigated until they found the one behind the bomb. Word of the assassination spread to the rest of the world, and FDR, Stalin, and Chamberlain held a conference at Kiev to discuss what was to happen next. It was decided that Britain could take over half of Poland, and the Soviet Union could take over the other half and leave the League of Nations, while the United States took over in Germany. FDR's Vice President John Nance Garner took over as President of Germany. Jews were no longer being persecuted or euthanized and could walk free as citizens. The Soviet Union was not threatened by a Nazi invasion, and Japan was forced to leave the United States alone without having Germany to fall back on. Since the Nazi Party's two strongest speakers, Goebbels and Hitler, were both dead, there was no one around to speak hatred towards the Jews. The Soviet Union no longer had the threat of being attacked by Germany, and with the Nazis defeated, the world could experience some peace. Since the United States and the Soviet Union left the conference on good terms, there was no Cold War and the hydrogen bomb was never invented. Although the Nazis were defeated, the world could not remain at peace for long. The countries would start to get greedy, and two sides would form again, Democrats and Communists. A Conflict like World War II would be postponed until perhaps the 50s, but war and destruction would be unavoidable. Adolf Hitler was one of the most brutal dictators to ever live, and he ordered the deaths of over 11 million people. Despite what many people think, if Hitler had been assassinated in 1939, the world would be a very different place because of the Jewish culture that would be prospering rather than dying out. Just imagine the world with another billion people. That's the difference that one man made.